In the last 5 minutes of the Vanderpump Rules Season 10 reunion, Raquel stops covering for Sandoval. The timeline they've been pushing isn't accurate, she says. They didn't just have a one-night stand at boys' night and later get together way down the line. They had sex at Sheena Shea's wedding in Mexico, she says. They also hooked up at Tom and Ariana's house while Ariana was at her grandmother's funeral. She also breaks down and sobs and says the affair has killed her soul. This is the greatest tragedy since Hamlet. Now, the Mexico stuff is really interesting. In her confessional, Raquel says that she was in her hotel room when she heard Tom stumbling around drunkenly outside by the elevators. And so she poked her head out and told a security person, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, this guy's really drunk." And she pulled him into her hotel room and they had sex. Also, at this point, Raquel said she had been trying to cut things off with Tom, that she had been saying like, "Oh no, we can't do this again." But on a recent podcast episode, Sheena told a story where she said that Raquel was supposed to room with her friend Jenny Ting at the wedding. And then Raquel told her, "Sorry, Jenny, producers say that I have to be by myself and you actually can't stay with me." And Jenny was like, I'll hide my stuff, make it look like you're alone. Can I please just still stay in the room that we were supposed to stay in together?" And Raquel's like, "No, I'm sorry, you gotta go." So in her confessional, Raquel's making it sound like she was trying to stay away from Tom and it was like a spontaneous thing and then things like picked back up again. But this might not be accurate either. So you have a person who's clearly, like, honestly, I believe her in that she's distraught. Who wouldn't be at this point, sociopath or no? But it may also be that she and Tom set things up so they could have sex in Mexico. Like, she's not quite there to the confessional part of it. That Raquel even showed up at the reunion to look Ariana in the eye and apologize and explain herself is honestly pretty impressive, given the fact that this was never going to be anything other than a public execution, which is exactly what happens. Raquel says that at this point in her life, she was trying to be less of a people pleaser and, make herself happy. She says that she's embarrassed by a lot of her actions over the season, but that she and Tom had an undeniable connection, and she says that she's in love. Tom says he's in love too. Ariana rips into them. She calls Raquel disgusting, a rotten piece of fruit. James Kennedy calls Tom and Raquel poo-poo heads that live in a poo-poo house. I liked that one. Lisa Vanderpump rips into Raquel too, calls her behavior macabre, asks why she was acting like a bizarre pageant queen in competition with other women. But Vanderpump has also been on thin ice with me this whole reunion. She's been defending Tom a little bit too much when Lala called him a dangerous narcissist, which he is. And also Vanderpump has shown that at the end of the day, she's going to protect her business interests, which are directly aligned with Tom. So she scored a few points back, but not enough, in my opinion. She needs to mostly stay out of this drama. Because at the end of the day, there's really no excuse for aligning yourself with someone like Tom Sandoval in business or in life. Look, Sandoval blew up because it's salacious, it's about cheating, it's about sex, it's about subterfuge, but it also blew up because of the bitter truth that you really do never know who you're sleeping next to, what they're really thinking and what they're really feeling. And Sandoval has always insisted that he just messed up. He was scared to break up with Ariana, he handled things poorly, he just got caught up in something, but he never meant to hurt her. Bullshit. In the last episode of the reunion, Andy asks if he'd been sleeping with anyone else after Raquel. Ariana says he was sleeping with me. And Tom's like, "Yeah, she kept her t-shirt on. It was really hot." Like, these are the words of a person with malicious intent who wants to hurt their ex-partner as much as possible. In real life, people in relationships sometimes fall in love with other people. It's messy and it's sad, but there are ways to communicate about it that minimize the devastation you're going to cause to your partner. And he's doing the opposite. If there's a path forward for Raquel, we saw just a glimmer of it at the end of the episode when she stopped covering for some of his lies, but they've called it Sandoval for a reason, because this man, this narcissist, this piece of shit, is truly the architect of his own destruction. And that's that on Vanderpump Rules Season 10.